Oddly enough, it feels like Groundhog's Day. Today is Friday, February 7th, and we just had an ice storm come through the Midwest and the Mid-Atlantic region with snow for New England, and that is on repeat. It's coming again. And just for reference, this is the last storm that just came through. We were talking about snow from Illinois through like New York and including parts of Connecticut and Massachusetts, all the way down to Virginia. A lot of comments from many of you talking about how you saw ice in these locations, but a few very opinionated people also who had some strong opinions about how bad I was at this. So we've got a verification map here. This shows freezing rain observations. These little teal ones are that. So northern Illinois, absolutely. Indiana ended up being a bit of a bust, seeing ice reports throughout Ohio, throughout Pennsylvania, through New York. We have a little bit of a gap in a couple places down through Virginia, up through New York. And if you zoom in, there were a couple in Connecticut as well. I'd have to say this is pretty. If you didn't get ice, that's great, but there are hundreds of comments in here. So let's just make sure we're keeping our world more than like the little square mile around us and having a bigger picture view of the world around us. The next storm that's coming is February 8th and 9th, Saturday and Sunday. And see those hot pinks again once in these southern regions. This is where we're going to definitely be having some problems with ice again. And then we've got snow for New England. Let's talk about the totals. So here's the ice forecast. We see some similarities to what we saw the last time. Unfortunately, seeing a little bit of a bullseye once again in Western Maryland, where they did see a tremendous amount of ice, but noticing that through a lot of West Virginia and through the bit here that comes up through southwestern Pennsylvania, noticing that there are some gaps there. So just note that there are some areas through central Ohio, through mostly southern Pennsylvania, and through the northern Mid-Atlantic region here, where Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, Delaware, places where we're going to see some significant ice. And New Jersey. Don't worry, I'm not going to forget about you guys. Since the map cuts off in the worst possible place, this is what it looks like for southern Virginia. Forecasting freezing rain is incredibly difficult. Go back and check the forecast we did the other day about why this is so hard. You have to have incredibly detailed information about surface temperatures, about what's happening up above. And the places that didn't get freezing rain from the last forecast, surface forecast temperatures didn't pan out. It was forecast to be colder than it was, and lucky for you guys, it ended up being a lot warmer, which is great. As for the northeastern United States and New England, seeing some upslope snow showers happening here Friday and to Saturday. But as the snow starts to move in, we see it crossing the Mid-Atlantic region right here, coming in on Sunday morning. This is where we're going to be seeing the good amount of snow. So the nice thing is this is a good southern New England snowstorm. These little blue squares here in New England are for winter storm watches, already advising for the potential of 6 inches or greater of snow in these locations. And don't worry, we're going to start to see this area here fill in as well with some ice warnings, but they're not going to be doing that until about 24 hours before. So we'll step through the National Weather Service forecasted snowfall amounts, but also know there are snow squall warnings that crossed New Hampshire and are going through Maine right now for really impressive snow squall. Otherwise, here's the forecast snowfall totals for Maine. For New Hampshire, once again, these are for Saturday evening into Sunday. This one for Vermont here and northern New York goes Friday through Monday. And snowfall forecasts for Friday through Monday for Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. This gives you a look at Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey. Then we have western New York and northern Pennsylvania, and eastern Pennsylvania through New Jersey. There's an interesting maxima difference here where National Weather Service is definitely putting a max through Massachusetts, but if we were to look at this graph model, seeing it has a maxima a little bit further south. It's actually very small scale dynamics that are going to be making that difference as to where the heaviest snow falls. So it's a little bit early to say exactly which one of these are right. But what this tells me as a meteorologist is there is going to be a place that has a little bit of a band that is higher amounts. Now, whether that's going to be through Massachusetts, through Connecticut, or the timing doesn't work out for it to happen at all, these are the type of fine scale details that will need to be refined here over the next 48 hours. So use this information today for ballpark preparations. Tomorrow we'll dive into more details about exact ice amounts, and we'll talk more specifics about snowfall amounts as well.